Hello, VC Olivier back for a new video. I'm just returning from a 3 weeks trip to the Americas and I was there for work, but in between, so the second week, I took 1 week off and I decided to visit Tennessee somehow mainly. My trip started in Georgia, where my company is based, and we drove from with my wife from Georgia to Memphis, Tennessee. We went then to Nashville, and then from Nashville we went to Charlotte, North Carolina. And all this trip was around music because we went to Memphis and intention was to see some live bands, blues bands, which we saw. Visit Elvis' house in Memphis, which we did as well, and then going for Nashville, listen to some country music there, and finally again going to Charlotte, where I was not sure exactly what I wanted to see in Charlotte from a touristic standpoint, let's say. But in Charlotte there is a great VC fellow, which is Dylan from Noble Record. He opened a shop there a month ago, and I wanted to meet Dylan. I'm watching his video for the last probably 2-3 years, since the early beginning, and so he always showed great records. So I said, look, I will go there, have a look on what he has, meet the guy, and buy some records. So I will try to do this video in once, maybe I will cut it in two, because there is a huge stack, as you can see here, and I found really great stuff over this trip, and I will start with the records here, which I got from Nashville. No, not Nashville, that was Memphis, sorry. So in a shop which is called Shangri-La Records, which is really a great shop. I found really fantastic records there. He acquired a big collection a year ago, something like that, so probably I missed a big part of it, but he still had some great records left, and I bought many of them. So yeah, we start with this record, which is East of Eden, which is a kind of blues rock, psych rock band. Really good stuff, and I was really happy to find this one. It's an original, obviously, and East of Eden, really good. Next one, I was really amazed to find this one. It's the Soft Machine. I think it's self-titled. It comes on a Probe record, and the record is in good conditions. I paid quite a bit for it. It's a really collectible records, and you have here the wheel which is turning on the record. So yeah, I will not do it, but you can turn the reel here. Soft Machine, it's as well psych rock band from the late 60s. Really great album. Next one I had on my want list as well, Child, psych as well, from 1968. A really good record, and I was looking for this record for probably the last 2-3 years. I could have probably buy it online, but finding records like that in the wild, really amazing. The inside of the record and the back side. Next one, I might not open all of them because otherwise the video will last forever. Again, one which I had on my want list, Liquid Smoke. 70s blues rock, hard rock, heavy psych maybe. Really good record. Really happy to find this one as well. Then going back more to psych, The Eyes of Bacon Street Union, that's a really solid psych album, and again, really difficult to find on the wild. Yeah, so really amazing that I found that. And they are all in good condition. Some of them, you know, kind of VG plus. Some of them even near miss. Oh, sorry, near mint records. So really nice. And again, I was really happy to find this one. For those who know this band, it's a really great band. And yeah, really good. Link Ray, it's a die cut cover as well, really difficult to find, and you know, I paid a bit for all these records. I mean, the guys, they were not cheap, but they were at kind of the average price on Discog. And again, finding them in the wild is really difficult, and when I saw them, I just took them. I mean, it was amazing. He gave me a price at the end because I took quite some records, so yeah, really nice records. Next one, Freedom, which is more prog hard rock band from the 70s, really solid as well. I mean, they are all really great, so you will hear that all the time. But again, was really amazed to find this record, and nice gatefold as well with the band inside. In the back of the record again. So then I made my way to Knoxville, which is no, first I went to Nashville, but I didn't went to record stores there. There are a few record stores as well in Nashville, but Nashville is more a country place. I'm not a big country fan. We went to see some live music because, I mean, you know, you cannot go to Nashville without seeing some live music in Nashville. But I'm more a blues guy, and so I spend more time in Memphis. I saw 2-3 bands in Memphis, a blues band, really good bands. Local bands mainly, but then in Nashville I just stayed for one night, and then on my way to North Carolina, to Charlotte, we stopped in a city called Knoxville, which is still in Tennessee, and I looked for some record store there, and that's what I found there. I didn't find so much. I found this record, which I was really happy to find. It's a CAC. This album in original is going for a lot of money. I didn't even know that they did some repress, so I found this repress there. And you know, even the repress from CAC, I saw that on Discog later on, are getting really rare. I think this one, for example, you don't have any copy to sell on record on Discog, so you know, it's getting really rare as well. It's a psych band from the West Coast, and it's a really solid album. I was really happy to find it. Not the original, as I said, but the originals are going for a couple of $100 or even more, which you know, I don't want to put in these records or this type of records, but you know, this one obviously is new, so brand new condition, and again, I'm sure in some years from now this will take as well some value because they are already difficult to find nowadays. Next one, the next two ones is kind of fillers, right? I mean, I had on my want list record from Larry Coryell, which I never really listened to, but I have seen that on VC, and people were saying great stuff about Larry Coryell. And I saw this record, so it's not the record I had on my want list, and but Larry Coryell here is playing with a band which is called 11th House, and it's more a jazz record. I listened to the record on the shop, I liked it, I just took it, you know, it was for $7, so you know, really good, solid jazz record, jazz fusion record. But yeah. Next one is as well kind of a filler. The band, yeah, I had this one on my want list as well. I never bought it online. You can easily find that online, but you know, I was just looking for the good opportunity to find a record in good condition on a decent price. It's not a rare record, you find that relatively easily, but it's you know, a solid album. It's not my preferred genre of music. It's kind of folk, but it's a kind of record you need to have in your collection, right? So just went for it. And that's the last track now, which by the way, the record in Knoxville, the record shop was this one, Lost and Found. And then I made my way to North Carolina, so where I went to Dylan record shop, so Noble Records, which is here, and Dylan had really great stuff. I met with Dylan again. I mean, he's really a nice guy. He's as nice as he is on his videos. I mean, you know, we had a chat, we talked a bit about music. He knew that I was coming because I sent him a message before. I made my way from France, right, to visit him in North Carolina, so that was again part of my vacations, but I didn't have any specific reason to go to Charlotte, and so I did something like, you know, a 10 hours drive additional to my trip to go there. But you know, Dylan is such an amazing guy. He shows so many great things over the years. He has a huge collection. He, you know, so, and he opened this shop a year ago, so, or a month ago, sorry. So I really had to go there to visit him because I wanted to meet him. And the second thing, I said, look, he has this shop and I'm sure I will find some great stuff, which I definitely did. So first record is Josephus, which is a Dead Man, and that's a reedition. It's a psych record, heavy psych, which I had on my want list as well. You know, the originals are really difficult to find, but even, you know, again, reedition of these records are not easy to find as well, and especially not in the wild. So I was really happy to find this one. Mount Rushmore, which is more blues rock, hard rock, 70s. I had already an album from them, really great band, and he had this original as well, which again I grabbed immediately. Next one, Badfinger, that's kind of as well more for me of a filler. It's a record which I heard a lot about. I saw a lot on online, on VC. I didn't have, so I just took it to complete my collection. Straight Up is the album, Badfinger. Going to blues, I bought some blues records there. I really like blues, and that's Memphis Slim, which is a great piano player and blues singer. So you know, I just went for this one. It's an original from the 60s, and was really happy to find this one. It comes on Folkway Records. I think Dylan made a videos some time ago, and he was commenting that Folkway Records, you know, he buy everything which he sees on Folkway Records because it's you cannot go wrong. They covered really great artists, and you know, that's one of them. Attila, I was looking for this record for the last 2-3 years. I saw it online several times. I didn't really want to spend the money and pay additional, you know, $4 or $5 to get it delivered. So, because I was not really sure about how good or not this record was. I mean, the thing with Attila is Billy Joel first record has nothing to do with what he did later. It's more kind of, 70s hard rock album. And look, the cover is a bit weird, right? The Butcher cover where you have the meat a bit everywhere. And when I saw the record, it's a repress, by the way. It's not the original, but they are as well difficult to find. It's a reissue from the 80s. And when I saw this record in the shop by Dylan, I said, Dylan, I mean, look, is that really a good album? Because I heard a lot about it, but I never listened to it. So he gave a spin. He told me you will like it, and obviously I liked it, and I took it. So really happy that finally I got this Attila record in my collection. I showed my want list as well to Dylan, right, on Discog, asking, look, are there some records here that you have? Because, I mean, the shop is really impressive. My wife was, I took my wife to probably 50 plus record shop over the years, right, in many different places, many different countries. Each time we go on vacation, I bring her to record stores. She does not really like the experience because I mean she's always sitting in a corner waiting for me, and I'm spending hours, looking at records and everything. And you probably know what that is, guys. But in Dylan, in Noble Record Shop, she was really impressed because the shop is really clean. You don't have these. The typical smell, which I don't dislike, right? The smell of the old records and dusty things and everything. So you don't have that because Dylan shop is brand new, really well done, and he has as well this area with some couch where spoons or children's or whoever can sit around and wait for the person who is shopping. So she really was really complimentary. She commented to Dylan that it's the best record shop she has never been, and the greatest experience she had. So, which look is really a good a positive comment, and especially coming from my wife. So when we went through the want list, I had this record on my want list, which is Strider. And Dylan didn't have that on the shelves, but he had that, in separate boxes. So which he was entering some records, and some of them he might want to keep them for his own collection, and that was one of them. So as he knew that I drove from France, and especially, or drove from France. I came from France and then drove especially from Tennessee to Charlotte to visit him. I mean, he just took this one out from his personal collection of things that he wanted to keep, and he handed over to me. So I was really happy to find this one as well. It's a kind of 70s hard rock band. Really great record, really great album. That's Touch. I didn't know this record. It's a more psych record, and I have seen it in one video from Dylan, and he was selling it, and I didn't listen to it, but Dylan told me that it was a really solid album, and obviously I fully trust because we have exactly the same taste of music, so I just took this record as well. Freedom, I showed you a Freedom before. The one I showed you before, I didn't have it on my want list, but this one was on my want list, and I found it, there. It's a promotional copy, white label. I did not take it out, but was really happy to find this second Freedom album, right? Next one, Jimmy Page and the Black Rose. I have seen his record online in the past. I'm a big fan of Led Zeppelin, maybe not as much as Dylan is, and there is a lot of stuff obviously around Led Zeppelin, and Jimmy Page did his live with Black Rose. So I asked Dylan if it's a good album. He confirmed that it is. They are playing many different Led Zeppelin songs, and so I just took it. It's a free records album. They are white vinyls, white records. I will not take it out, but happy to find this one as well. This one is a rare record, which I had on my want list as well. That's a reissue from you know, probably 80s and 90s, I'm not sure. And it's the band called Zaire, which is more, yeah, heavy psych, hard rock band. Difficult to find, really difficult to find. Even the reissue are difficult to find. So I was really happy again to find this one. Coming back to blues, I didn't know about Big Joe Williams, but I knew I have already a record with Sonny Boy Williamson. So again, just wanted for this one. Next one, Quicksilver first album. I have most of the first records from Quicksilver. I didn't have the first album, and again, it's the kind of album that you can find, but typically it's a bit beat up, and this one is a really good condition. There is still the shrink wrap around, and because you know the black record, the black covers, as you know, they get easily ring wears, so it doesn't have ring wears. It's good condition, was as well for a decent price, and you know that's a type of record you always wait to find on the wild, because you don't want to spend $5 just to get it you know, by mail or whatever. So was happy to find this one. Was looking for it for quite some time to complete my early Quicksilver collection albums. So now I probably have the 4 first albums from Quicksilver, and I have some later ones, but yeah, I don't really get into it anymore. So the first albums from Quicksilver are great in my taste. After the 4th or the 5th, I mean, it's getting, for my ears at least, not really enjoyable. Fat, which is as well 70s hard rock band. You know, difficult to find record. Was really happy to find this one. I'm a big fan of 70s hard rock, so yeah, that was a great find as well. Next one, Lightning Hopkins, where I have already some records, and look, I saw this one, Sings the Blues, which is kind of compilation, and I immediately grabbed it as well. So that's all the LPs that I bought during my trip. I bought as well some 45s, which are here. Let me go through quickly. I have a jukebox, as probably some of you know. So I buy 45 for my jukebox. So that's Sunshine of Your Love from The Cream. It's a Beautiful Day, White Bird, which is a really good song. That's yeah, these 2 records, Chess records, I bought them in the Sun Studio in Memphis. So I bought that as well, which is the Sun Studio record company. You know, it's kind of the label, right? And yeah, they had some new records, and I bought these 2. This one is Howlin' Wolf. So famous blues guitarist and harmonica player. Was really happy to find this one. And the second one is Muddy Waters, which is obviously as well a great blues musician. Then what else did I find? Yeah, of course, I mean, again, being in Nashville, Elvis, I'm not a big fan of Elvis, and these records I bought them more for 2 reasons. One, and probably the most important one, to make my wife happy because she likes Elvis. The second one, I buy a lot of records, and my collections is getting really big now, and I bought records all over the world, right? I have the chance, or you know, to travel a lot. The chance is not always a chance, because I travel for work, and yeah, you not always enjoy the place you go, because you just arrived at the airport, you go to the hotel, you go to work, and then you get back after a few days. And but you know, I always try, as the people who follow my video know, when I travel for work, to do some record shopping. And when I look back to my collection, I'm able to take records, and I immediately remember where I bought his records. So for me, it's it's really great to go to a place, buy records, and have a link between the records and the place you visit, and building some memories. And when you look at these records years later, you remember the place you were and the good time you had or whatever. So yeah, Elvis, definitely Memphis, Elvis, Graceland. I mean, that's really linked together. So first one, which is Blue Suede Shoes. Another one, which is here, and which is Love Me Tender, right? That's definitely a song my wife loves. And this one, which I wanted to take because That's Alright, which is a song that I really like. By the way, they had the original of this one by Sun Studio. They were selling the original for more than $2,000, right? So which I would definitely not spend in a record, definitely not in an Elvis Presley record. And but I was really happy to find this edition on RCA with What's Alright, which is a really good song from Elvis. Some additional ones, which Suzy Q, Creedence Clearwater Revival. That's a really good song. What's that? That's Blues Image. So Blues Image, I have some albums from them. I didn't really know now these songs specially. They are on the albums, but I didn't have in mind the song. But again, I paid that only a few bucks, and Blues Image is a great band, so I said, look, it's probably great. Otherwise, I will take it on the jukebox, and if it's not as good in my taste, I will just take it out. But this one, it's the same. It's a Rare Earth, which is Rare Earth. Yeah, they did really great stuff. Not sure about these songs in particular, but I will check that out. Next one, Crow, the same. I mean, look, I have 2 LP from Crow. They have some good songs. Not sure about these ones especially. We'll check it out. And I think the last one be the same. Yeah, it's ARS, Atlanta Rhythm Section. Same, right? I'm not sure about this song in particular, but look, ARS, they did really good stuff, so hopefully this 45 will be great. That's the stack of 45, that's the stack of LP, and again, really great trip. I found really nice records, I built really nice memories, I met really nice people, and Dylan from Noble Record being one of them. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. Was a bit a long one, but again, looking at the stack I bought, it deserved at least these 27 minutes. Thank you very much, speak to you soon, bye.